Hey, welcome back. Brandon Media Strategy, session 9. Hope everybody's doing well. Repeat of some people. I'll just mention this quickly. Pretty soon, mid-April, you'll register for fall semester. I have this ready for you to look at. If you have questions, feel free to just ask me. I know there's advisors, but sometimes they don't know the ins and outs exactly because they're dealing with 11 different pathway, we call them pathways, 11 different degrees. So if you need help, let me know. It's basically, if you've done it, you don't need to do it again. If it's not checked, you need to do it. This is a pretty good lineup of what's going to be happening. So you can look for what you need to do, what you don't need to do. Don't forget to scroll down and take care of these. New is we're only running 4th in fall and spring, so make sure you get those where you need them due to low enrollments. We can't just keep running classes with 2 people. So that is why that is happening. Yeah. So if you have any questions, just let me know. Please ask. Set up for fall, know what you got to take for spring, and we'll work from there. All righty. Session 9. What do we got going on? We got our standard attendance. Let's check our attendance, start attempt. I got thrown off this morning by one. What is negative space also known as? White space. Done. I knew that one right away. I had one this morning, and I had to look it up because it was a general context word, and it was for design elements and principles. And I was like, oh no, what are they talking about? Contrast and layout or contrast and image? And it was layout. So that was fun. We're going to talk about bold copy and text and margins. Let's start out with bold copy. Bold body copy. This is another one of those things of like, just like don't go to it. Don't have it be, I know we talk about, there's a whole bunch of these, Joel, we're week 9 and you keep telling us these things not to do. They're just generalizations of things not to do. Over the millennia that we've been doing graphic design, we haven't been doing it for 1,000 years, but we've learned some things, and just having text as a normal font reads nice. Let's have a nice conversation. You can read it. When you bundle it together and you do a bold for large bodies of text, it makes it much more difficult to read. You may not think so when you're zoomed in and you're like working on it and you're like, oh, this is totally easy. I can totally read this. This is great. But then you don't look at it as like a normal size, and then it starts getting messed up. So the big thing here is don't default in your mind to bold as body copy. If you're like, oh, I love this font, it's kind of bold, you got to pick something different. Like if it's a lot of text, go with a light copy. Heavy bold text just feels heavy. It's like, oh, there's a lot to read. It's not as nice. It doesn't work as well. And you got a widow in there. So I guess it's just like that thing that when you go and you're working on an assignment and you're working on like these posters. Oh, it's a poster. I'll do bold body copy. No, it doesn't need to be bold. People don't need to read the body copy from across the room. That's when they walk up to the poster to find out more. So then you're conflicting with your hierarchy and having, okay, their title is bold and then the body copy is bold. Which is more important? Well, actually, the titles are the most important because you can quickly read a title wrong. And then you will know that like this is the other stuff. Like, why am I'm reading about wrong? Here it is. I'm reading about right. Here it is. But if the title and the body copy are both bold and everything is bold and bold and bold on the page, you're not setting up your design as to be in hierarchy to show people, this is what I want you to look at first. This is what I want you to look at second. This is what I want you to look at third. So I would say when we say large bodies of text, and I'll be quick on this one because the other one's longer, is one paragraph. If you have something with a single paragraph, you might be able to get away with bold body copy, though it still might look goofy. Anything more than one, don't use a bold font for the body copy. Use something that is legible. We also have that, I want you to be as creative as you can be. Start looking around your world as I do. And when you see type in a paragraph form, note in your head, oh, okay, normal font. Body copy should just generally be a normal font, like a nice Helvetica, Arial, Times New Roman. Like there's a million of normal fonts for body copy because we want people to read it with ease. Just nice and easy. I'm just going to read it. All the fun, funky stuff happens with this stuff. Like, I want to go a little bit crazy. I chose like a weird font. No, okay, this is great. I'm reading one word, a sentence, not even a sentence, and then two other words. Then the rest should just be nice typography. That's the part where you don't want people to like kind of stress out on. They can stress out on reading all the crazy stuff. So from here on out, do not use bold for large bodies of text. So the posters that you're going to be working on, that I'm working on, don't use a bold type. Don't use bold font. We have to think about that size in relation to legibility, in relation to comfort and design. Not everything needs to be as big as it can possibly be on the page. We give you a lot of stuff. That poster that we're working on has 6 areas of text. They don't have to be crazy big though. They're just like a little bullet point. It's a little grab of information, and then I'm moving on. I don't want people to look at my poster and think like, oh my God, this is like reading a page in the dictionary. There's so much information here. It's big, it's bold. It's like, oh, I don't want to do this event. But if you just have a nice, comfortable text in a bullet point, in a paragraph, people are like, oh, okay, I'll sit and read that. So there's a lot of psychological reasons why we don't do that. The other one is it comes across as like yelling. It's a little bit like you bold something because you want people to really see it. But if everything's bold, you just want it yelling, and then it's just nobody cares anymore. They stopped caring, and then it was 2 hours of reading, they walked away. So never use bold for large bodies of text. Sure, there will be a time. Everybody will be able to find a time where they needed to use bold. The only one that I say is worth doing is when your client pays you to have you do that. If your client pays you and they're like, no, we want bold body copy, and you're like, it's really not going to look like, and you just go, well, you're paying me to do what you want. You just do it, and you walk away from it, and you don't use it in your portfolio. Plenty of times that will happen. So keep that in mind. Wrong. No bold body copy. There. You bold the little parts of it, what's important. That's not even bold. That's just like medium. So take care of that. Here's the other one. I'm pausing because this comes up all the time, and I don't understand how it doesn't not look correct to people. And I know why it's done. And it's mostly done in InDesign, but it's done other places as well. But what we're doing is we're doing the design thought in reverse. And so that's what messes us up. So sometimes when we're designing, it's also about the order of the operations in which you design. So I was watching this thing. My kid likes to watch this guy who does these sculptures, and he's really good. But sometimes he'll work on a sculpture, and you'll be going, and you're like, oh yeah, awesome. And then he does something which is almost reverse of what you think the design process would be, or the sculpture process would be. And I'm like, oh my God, like that's the perfect way. It's thinking about it in a new light to have you design it in a better way. So this happens all the time. We're in week 9, and I think I saw this happen in week 8. And that's and that's just this semester. So it's been happening for a while, and I'm trying to get people to stop doing it. Overall, like I feel like I mentioned this, for me at least in my classes since first semester. This is why you do it, and it's the reverse of what you should do. And let's look at two programs here. Illustrator first. Here's my artboard. I'm gonna just fake in a margin, right? And I'm gonna make it a color, but it's 4x4, so I'm gonna 3.5 by 3.5. This isn't important. And I'm gonna make it yellow. All right. So we have our area, and actually that's the correct way to. And then we're like, what we do is, object, right, send it back. Here's my text, and then like you're like, oh, here's the text box. I'm making the text box the size of the box. Happens all the time. And then I get this, and I think, why? Wait. You know, oh, I'll make the background like a blue, so that'll help separate what we're talking about. There. That's a perfect example of what we get. And I think, why did you make the text box that way? And I know one of them, and you can't do it in Illustrator that I know about. Let's get this out of the way. And I'm gonna move over. Is we have this, and you're like, oh, I can't read the text. I'm going to do the background a different color. And in InDesign, you can click on it, and it fills the background with a color, and you end up with this. The idea, though, should be pre-thought. I want a text box for my type. So I create the text box, and then I bring my type into it with plenty of room, and then I make my type fit the area. Oh, let's just, let's do 10 point. We can adjust the leading, get rid of the widow, and get it to a point where it looks good. And there's plenty of room around it. Plenty of room. I would say, I used to try to like define this space. It should be like almost like you can stick your finger there. Like there should be, it's called an X height, and it should almost be 3x height. So an X height is if I type an X, that's, you do a capital X. It should be 3 of these. And I used to try to like talk that in, like, okay, so if I make a box and I make it 3 high, that should be the approximate room. I came across that 3 may be too many, but it should be 2 or more. So if you were to type an X and you put your text into a text box inside a box, you should have 2x around the whole thing. And that is an adequate gap for the text to read. Beautiful. Like, there we go. It's not jammed in there. It looks good. So we go to the other program. So think of it in reverse. So when you're setting your text and you think of it second, as we do, oh, I can't read the text on the background. I need to include a text box. Then take your text out, design in the text box, and then redesign in the text itself. Don't just make the text box and then you're like, I'm going to squeeze it into this area, because that's what we do. You're like, oh, but I did all the other layout part. Well, just make the text smaller. Like we have this thing about making the text smaller. And I know in InDesign, it's a little bit of a pain in the butt, except for the free transform tool, which makes it glorious. So here we go. I got my setup. Now InDesign has been giving me tons of glitch problems. I'm going to create a box. I'm going to fill it with black. Now I got my text. Oh no, I cannot read my text. Oh, I know what to do. I will simply go to this fill button and hit yellow. I'm done. There, that fixed the problem. This looks like crap again. Like this is not how you fix the problem. So you take your text and you undo that. You take your text out of the situation. You make your text box and you make it the color you want. You make it the size you need. Everything. You get that part correct. Which in this case, I know it's super easy. I'm not doing like a rectangles or like one of our other design projects, but make, make your box, then bring in your text, and you're like, but gee willikers, wait, object arrange, bring the front. Gee willikers, it doesn't fit. And, oh, I spent some time typesetting it. Well, if you use the free transform tool and you just grab that text and hold down shift, you can resize that proportionately in the area, and you don't have to re-typeset anything. It scales it. That's why the free transform tool is the savior in InDesign. You can do that with anything in InDesign, and it will scale the typography in the box instead of this happening, which everybody freaks out about, is like, oh, I want it smaller. And you're like, oh no, it ruined all my typography. No, you just scale the whole thing. It's such a simple way to make sure you do that. And then again, we do our X height, capital X. How big is that? Minimum of 2 around it. And then that way you will have a clean looking design. Visual, breathing room. So design the box first and then put your text in the box. Don't design your text and then be like, oh no, I need a text box. Well, then just take the text out, recreate the design, readjust the design for text boxes. And then if you're so need to, because the text is touching all the edges, just set it, come on in. I can visually tell, like, oh man, that's looking good. Use this and bring it on in. It's easier than you think. So there's no reason to have that text jammed up. Yes, yes, it is a design peeve for many, many people. Many of our teachers here. So it's like, geez, what's up with them and that? It is a huge thing. I talk about it with margins all the time. Like people are just like, no, it just goes right up to the edge. Everything is tight and touching each other as possible, like in the white space. And that is reasons why I have you do these smaller assignments and I put such restrictions on them is simply for that. Is that like here, only typing, no images, like I have these assignments built in so you start to get understanding like, okay, I need space, white space is good, gaps between items and designs. Like it's not just like fill it. Let's work on this project. Let's work on this one. Because I did the last project I did was the other one. So this is in Illustrator. Let's create a file new. Oh, and I know my thing already. So it's 4.5 by 7.5. It's tall. Quarter-inch bleed. Create. First layer is called a margin. I'm gonna create my box. It's gonna be 3.5. Oh, 4 by 7. Four by 7. Sorry for that silence there. Make sure it's perfectly, well, we go through here. We always turn off that. We always turn off that. Make sure it's perfectly centered. Margin. Oh, we turn on our rulers. Pull a guide. Pull a guide. Now I know the quote I want to do, but I don't know how I'm going to do it. Template plus, what the heck? Crop marks. And I'm not kidding. You guys are like, oh, I got to do this every time. I do this on every assignment. Like, if I don't do it, it bugs me. And I think I mentioned every time, like, there's so many assignments where I come back to, and I'm like, oh, why didn't you do that yet? Make sure you do it. I have to tell myself that. 4.5 by 7.5. Set the return. No fill, no stroke. Make sure it's centered up properly. It was not centered up. I did a lousy job placing it in, but all that, like, within minutes, this is done. You know, like, that's, oh, it's, you know, it's so much work. It's 1 minute of your time. And it's a professional. Like, this is, you get this done, you never have to do it again. What happened to my margin? There we go. All right, so let's bring this back in. Let's do some fun typography. Oh, I have it open. So there was a number in here. Here. The estimate is that you can handle 40 billion pieces of information every second, but only 40 of these make it to your conscious brain. I thought that was kind of cool. And I was like, okay, now how do I do this? You know, going in, this is the freehand. This is typography. Let's tap it down, paste. Oof. I'm going to take out the parentheses. And I want the 40 billion and 40, right? That's what we're working with. So I'm going to make a big 40. And then I'm going to grab those two and pick a font that's not Myriad Pro. What did I have this font for? Oh, and you know what? I was like, why do I feel like I have so few fonts? I got it set on just serifs. I mean, it works. It's good to see that. It gets me beyond the two. I want it like big. What is this? Ooh, Mighty Slab. All right. I don't know if I'm going to use this for the whole thing. We're going to get a 40. And when I do that, the shift and option, always use your quick keys on your keyboard. If you're not familiar with doing that, start doing it, start learning them. Shift, option, alt, like it's just my hand just lives there. If you're not doing it, start to do it. This, I think, is just too hard to read in general. I really wanted it to work, but I want the 40. And I think I have to go. I'm gonna do times. I got this weird like 60s thing in my head. All right, now I make a bunch of these. And I'm gonna take out the 40. I'm gonna take out this. The brain. You know, 40 billion pieces of information. So how do I get that to speak? So I'm going to delete. Oh, yeah, I know what I'm going to do. I kind of want, now I'm going to do like 40, 40. I was going to try to blend them into one. The estimate is that you can handle. Now the billion, the 40 can go away. Now, okay, I have an idea. Oh, so I hate, so when that happens, like that bounding box is so big. Sometimes if I know I like this, I'll just go to type and then create outlines. So I'm never messing with those. I can retype 40 easily. Now, the but only part. Now I'm thinking, I'm going to separate this out. I don't know if this is going to work good. Delete, delete. This becomes white. Object, arrange, bring the front. Delete that. Now, I don't know if this is, I kind of like it. I'm going to get it centered. Big gap, big gap. I mean, move this up. I'm looking, you know, how does that flow? How does that flow? How is this flow? How is the flow there? It's looking pretty good. And then here was my idea, which might suck. Oh, I don't want to do it. So like if I did something like this, blocked out that, I need to know where the center of that is. And then I did something like just simple. I'm trying to think, like, can I do it simple enough into which I don't have to, like, what's the least amount of information I need to include for this to look right? Or for people to get it. Handle 40 pieces every second. Like, do I need, is this enough of an indicator for a clock, like a second hand? Like, I don't want to have to put in 1 through 60. Oh, here. Don't do 1 through 60. Do 60. Now I want it in that font. And then I'm going to do, black. What I'll do, like 70. Let's see how 75 looks. And then I'm going to do here, here, here. And then this is 15, 30, 45. And then now I'm going to check like my distances on this typography. Kind of get those perfect. I think that works. I'm going to do file, save as. For me, I save it to cloud storage. You know what to do from here. But yeah, just trying to get you to think differently, different processes and a way to do the design. Try different things out. Where am I saving these? Oh, let's go 142. Designer. Every. That's 09. Okay. All right. So that will be it for today, I believe. That's all I got. Knockout, get it knocked out, get it done way in advance. I sat down. What did that take me? 15 minutes. These are meant to do that. Give yourself a timer. I say it takes an hour. Look at that sheet, block everybody out, say, okay, 1 hour, boom, do it, get it done, walk away. The next assignment, the other one with the media, think about it, figure out what media project you want to do. What's hitting you up in the old socials? What are you seeing pop up? What are you getting inundated by when you're on the internet? I did the media the last time when I did the brand. It's actually now it's hitting me up, and I'm getting the Birdwell everywhere. It's coming up. Everywhere means YouTube for me. Oh no, and when I search internet, like when I get side banners now too for Birdwell. It doesn't take much. So pick the one who's bugging you about what. It's always fun. That's a weird way to get something and be like, okay, I got to emulate their design style. They're advertising a lot. I'll take it. Let's see what I can do with it. This one is InDesign. So make sure you do it in InDesign. I believe I have to add in the InDesign hierarchies there. So it is known. And that is it. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please reach out and ask me. I'm always around. I'm always here to help. Love it. Just don't want you to ever think that I'm not here. You got questions, ask me those questions. I love doing it. With that being said, knock these out. Good luck. Or, probably just have to do last week's, and I'm already on this week's. Take care of that. And if I don't see you on the discussion boards, I will talk to you on Thursday. I will have my poster is close to being done. Then I have to translate it to the flyer, which is the easy part. I want to get the poster perfected. And then I'm going to translate it to the flyer. And then we move on to, I don't even want you guys to think about it yet, but what's next? Tent, sandwich board, sticker, and t-shirt. So, all right, cool. Talk to you guys later. Take care. Bye-bye.